So today we'll start with something more about CSS. More precisely, we will talk about CSS3, right, and image properties. We'll start with few CSS properties which are important, like images. So text is one thing. So we have seen yesterday few text properties. Now we will see few image properties and we will discuss more about CSS. Any questions do you have on the CSS or the HTML? This is clear, right? Okay. So let's talk about image property. So first, how to add the image? Now, so here I can say, how do you add images? Say H1, adding images. So if you want to add the images, how do you do that? First, we will see. And then we will see few properties. And then we will see. And then we will see image property. Image properties. So how do you add the images? We will see. So if you want to add the image, what do you do exactly? To add an image, there is tag. To add an image, there is a tag called as img tag. Right? There is a tag called as img tag. And let me add first img tag. So here we can see img tag, which would be having source, and then we will see something called as alt. So there is an image tag, and to the image tag there is an image tag, and to the image tag one attribute src, another attribute alt. Src means which image exactly you need to load, source path of that image, and what if this image is not available, so there is an alternative text. Got it? So we will try to add first these things. So let me write what is the source, path to image file, and then there is something called as alt. What if the given image is not available at the path? This attribute is text description, which is important for accessibility. Replace the description of the image, so we can add whatever meaningful description we can add over here. So this description would be there. Another thing, why you need to add alt tag? You need to add alt tag because accessibility purpose, right? So you have written the image over here, or you have created image over here, so you can give a description about this image, what this image is about. Let's do this thing first. Today is day 8, day 08. Okay, and in here I can say index.html. We can say styles.css, and we can have just create the HTML page first, HTML file, and image related things, So what we would like to do, we would like to create card. We would like to create the card. See, I'm telling you a live example. So what we need to do, we need to create a card. Something like this. So something like this would be the card. At the top we need to add image over here, right? This would be the image. We will give some caption and description like this. So caption and the description like this. So something like this we need to create. Not exactly, presently you don't know few things in the CSS to lay out all these things, but basic structure we need to create something like this card, correct? So how do you do that? Let's think in this way. See, first I have given you what we are expecting. We are expecting this out of CSS. So we are writing CSS and HTML for this. So how do you do that? So you would be having a main, and there would be a section, and into the section you can have image tag or img tag, right? Then you would be having label, and you would be having paragraph. See, first we created the structure, yes or no? So first we created the structure. So I can create a class called as card. Okay. So here we would be having a class called as card title, and we can create a class called as card description, right? Class, and we can say thumbnail, card thumbnail, card thumbnail. Okay. So these classes we need to create so that we can reuse also for multiple cards, right? So let's create the class called as card, and there is one attribute called as max width 200 pixel. I'm using absolute dimensions. Max height, we can say max height, here you can say 300 pixel. Okay, let's go one by one. So card has been applied. Let's give some background color, and I can say bisque is the background color. And let's open this. Nothing is happening. If I show you, you are not getting all these things. So let's try to add first image, and then we will see. Let's get some image, and we can say Mario images. And let me get this image. I would like to add this image, Mario. So let's download this image, save as desktop. I'm saving this image. Now what you need to do, from the desktop, I'm just copying that image and pasting to day 8. So this in this way it will not work. You need to open a new window, reveal the finder, right? And separately from the window to window you need to copy paste. Okay? In the VS Code it will not happen. You need to open two windows. Can you see now? I have pasted it here. Now, if you can see width here or SRC. Now in the current directory is represented by dot. Can you see Mario03.png? Current directory represented by dot / Mario3. And you go here and see. In your web page, Mario is there. Alt tag is important for accessibility reasons. Mario image. But can you see, I don't want full size image. So you can give width, say it's a vertical image, right? Say 200, and height, say 300. Refresh it. Can you see here image? So what about this? This is not getting worked. Why? The CSS is not getting applied. One mistake, you didn't import the CSS. Link rel CSS. Can you see style sheet styles? There is a S. Remember that our file name is styles.css. So here also it should be styles.css. Refresh it. Can you see now? It is getting a little background because of that CSS. So this card would be having width and height, max width through 200 and then 300, max width. Now you will get to know, if I write width over here, what happens. We will see that, just a minute. We will see that. So label, we can say Mario, and we can say some text. We need to have some text. Now I'm just some text, some random text on the internet I'm copying. Yeah, refresh it. And can you see here it's the Mario and a description of the Mario. Can you see that? But remember that max width and height, can you see? It is growing till here only. This much is width and height. Correct? Max width and height. Now if I comment this out, and if I make simply width and height. Okay. Now there is a little difference in width and height. We'll talk about that. So width and height and max width and height, there is a little difference. Okay. So if you see here, this is the, actually we need to have full card with this background, but this is not working. One thing I have shown you, one problem. I'm facing one problem. If you see the card, the class card is occupying whole thing, right? Hello? This is the class card. Whole section is the class card. So technically this image, this color should be to all this card, because this Mario is also part of the card. As a baby, whatever, this description is also part of the card. But here you are getting image till you are getting background to the image only, because image is having 200 by 300. Just to create some difference, I can say 250. Otherwise you will feel that the color is occupying because of image. It's not like that. Can you see? Now the color is little lesser than the image, right? Now this is Mario and this thing. Let's create few more classes. That is card thumb is one class. So first we will work with the card title. First we will work with the card title. Card title. And then here we can say font size 1 em, right? Font style italic, and we can add one more strong tag over here, strong, HTML tag, strong, so it will look like a little bit bolder. We may increase the font, say 1.5 em, card title. Can you see a little bit increased, right? And now card description. Let's create the class. See how you work. You work in this way. First you will create the skeleton. After creating the skeleton, you will create the requirements, and those requirements you will go on adding like this, and simultaneously you will go on creating the CSS like this. Okay, now we can say text color or simply color, color, gray color we need, font size 1 em. Can you see a little bit gray color? This is the title. And actually we need this much as one card. This much as one card. Right? So just comment it out the height parameter and refresh it. Can you see? You have commented out the height. The minute you commented height, what had happened? The minute you commented height, what had happened? Whatever required height, that height I am considering. That height I am considering, right? Just a minute. So presently you have removed the height parameter. You have removed what? Height attribute, height property. You have removed what? Height property. And that's why whatever required height that it is considering. Whatever required height, whatever for this content it is considering. Okay. Now what we will do? Now we will add dot. So first we will give little padding from all four sides, and we can say 16 pixels of the padding. Refresh it. Can you see little padding has been added from all four sides? Just a minute. So presently you don't know few properties for the CSS like flexbox or grid, and that's why we have some limitations. So we are going to learn that, but for now consider that you know only this much things, and once you learn the flexbox and other things, we will see. Okay, so here given some color, some padding we have given. Now let's go to the card thumb. Let's go to what? Card. Let's create the class card thumb. Okay, and let's give background color white. Refresh it. Can you see? Also little padding from all four sides. Padding 8 pixels. Okay, just remove this padding and see here, it is Mario is inside some window and like this. So to the card title also, to the card title as well, we can give a little background color. And see this, it is looking like little faint color has been added over there. Or let's give a gray color. Or let's remove it, don't require that color. So remove the attribute itself. And if you need little top margin to this, margin top, can you see? 8 pixels. Margin top. Card title. Card title. Or let's make a 16 pixels. Margin top. Okay, so if it is not working, just inspect it from here and see here margin top is not working. And you can try just from here. Let's try to give margin to the strong tag. Okay, we have a strong tag inside that. Label dot card title. Okay, and margin 10 pixels. Yeah, 10 pixel margin is working, but from left it is working. Margin top, margin hyphen top 10 px. See, this is not working. So what might be the reason? What might be the reason? So when you talk about this margin top, let's go to the CSS. So this is our, okay, we have a label. We have a label as a card title. Inside that there is a strong card title label. Okay, let's try to add margin bottom, say 30 pixels. Yeah, from the bottom also it's not working. I got the thing what's happening exactly. So you need to be inside one solution. There are multiple solutions to this. You need to be inside the flex box. Fine, presently you don't know the flex box, that's fine, but it's like that the structure is rigid, you cannot move the elements, and that's why this thing is not happening. We can do this thing by a hack way, but more proper solution over here is to put this into the flex box. But as far as our current knowledge is concerned, we can do this much things, right? We can do this much things. So what we have seen over here, image, how to add the image, alt tag, width tag and height tag. So one concern over here is that one concern over here is that we need to talk about few properties, say width, image width, right? So image width. So CSS provides a range of properties. CSS provides a range of properties to control the styling and behavior of the images displayed on the web pages. These properties allow you to adjust the image dimensions, alignment, border, and the effect. Okay. Now, width and height. First thing, width and height sets the width and height dimension for the image. So this we have seen. Max width and max height sets the maximum width, say sets the maximum width and height for the dimension for image from prevent the stretching, for image from prevent the stretching. See, maximum width and height. Sometimes what happens, image may go beyond the dimensions. Image may go beyond the dimensions. At that time, this max width and max height attribute helps you. It ensures that element's width does not exceed the specified value, even if container is larger. Right? Now you have a full size container. Now you can say main. Main is having width and height of 100%, 100%. But that much image we don't need to show, correct? We need to show image. We need to show image with some maximum bounds. And that's why we use the attribute called as max width and max height. These two attributes we have seen. So whenever you write the image, whenever you create the image, or whenever you use the image, please write these attributes, both the attributes, width, height, max width and max height. Okay. Okay. So one more thing, max width and height will work in the responsiveness. So whenever we will learn the responsive images, see how this card will look like on the mobile, how this card will look like on the phone, and all that things, right? How this card will look like on the phone is little bit different. At that time, max width and max height will help you, correct? Okay. So these are the two image properties. Now there are more. There are the more image properties. Now, what we need to do, there is one property called as object fit. There is one property called as, now what I will do, let's create one more section, and into that image we can say mario.png and good Mario. Just refresh it. See this Mario without these things, and we can create .mario class, and inside this we can say this is also okay. Width here, from here also you can give the width, and here .mario container. Okay, so if you want to give width and height to this section, we need to give height to this main, width and height to the main. Let us see what happens. 300 px, height 400 px, or let's reduce it, 200 px and 300 px. So I will comment this section Okay. Or here you can write auto will not work because parent is not having width and height. But I want to show you some another property, object fit. Object fit. So you can say fill, object fit fill. Correct. So here class Mario. Now here object fit contain. Can you see contain? Something has been changed. Fill, object fit fill to the, okay, let's do one thing. Let's give some border. 1px solid black. See, this much is the container. Now let's see the contain. Contain means what? Inside this container, image would be properly contained. Fill means what? It will try to stretch. See, replace contain is size to the fill's content box. The object concentrate size. Okay, we will discuss that. But see, full edge to edge. It will fill edge to edge. And then cover. Cover. Can you see cover? It will be coming like this. And then we can say scale down. Scale down means it would be perfect fit inside the container. Now, so what we will do? Let's talk about this part. Object fit inside the CSS. Object fit. So object fit property is used for image tag or the video tag. Object fit. Just a minute. Object fit. So here we can have fill, then contain, then cover, none, and scale down. What do you mean by fill? The content is stretched completely to fill the container. So image content is stretched to completely fill the container, right? So when you talk about the object fit, just a minute, it's all about container, how image would be placed in a container. Object fit CSS property control how image, let's talk about the image only. Image elements content such as image or video is scaled and positioned within its container. Scaled and positioned within its container. Object fit property in the CSS used to control how image elements content is scaled and positioned within its container. Fill means what? Fill the container, possibly causing it to be distorted if the aspect ratio doesn't match. So when you say fill, it would be stretched edge to edge, right? Hello? The content is scaled down. So next is nothing but what? Contain. So when you say content is scaled down, the content is scaled to fit inside the container while maintaining the aspect ratio. Maintaining the aspect ratio. So here if you can say contain. If I say contain, now see, aspect ratio would be maintained. To the fill, it won't be worried about the aspect ratio, right? Inside a fill, aspect ratio won't be considered, or image would be stretched edge to edge where you may lose the aspect ratio, but content scaled to fit inside the container while maintaining the aspect ratio. No part of the image is cropped and empty spaces might appear around the image. Can you see? No part of the content is cropped and empty spaces might appear around the content if the aspect ratio don't match. See here, you might see some white spaces. Can you see? At the bottom there is a white space, at the top there is a white space. Okay, then cover. What do you mean by cover? The content is scaled to cover the entire container while maintaining the aspect ratio. Some parts of the image might be cropped, achieving this effect. See, some parts, let's go here and just make it cover. Make it what? Cover. See, this is cropped, this is cropped, this is cropped, this is cropped. But image is not distorted. There is no problem in the image. Your image looks good. But if you go here and make a fill, you will find that image is stretched. Can you see something else is happening? Image is stretched, vertically stretched to fill in the container. But cover, no cropping, there is a cropping. Contain, there is a no cropping. Now none, there is a one more attribute called as none. There is a one more attribute called as none. What do you mean by none? None, original size. It will stick to the original size without any scaling. If content is larger, it might overflow. Overflow means scroll bars. Overflow means what? Scroll bars. Now what I will do, just remove this width and height from here. It won't be like this. Just a minute. I need to add Mario container also. I was avoiding to do that. Mario container. Width 100 pixel, height 100 pixel, and border we can say 1px solid red. Now here also, so here also HTML body width 100 VW, height 100 VH. Okay, to the main tag we can add width 100%, height 100%. Correct? Now this main would be getting, this would be getting, and the section is nothing but what? The Mario container. Class I'm copying this and Mario container. See, container is this much. Cover. Okay, we are using cover. I'm getting some noise from your end. Okay. Mario is this. Max width 100 px. Max height 100 px. Yeah, now see, if it is in exactly inside this, fine. What I wanted to show you, fine, somehow it is not getting created over here, but this is the Mario container, and inside that there is a Mario image. Just a minute. It will not take any effect. Okay, so Mario, this image, this class is here. Just a minute. Hundred px, 100 px, and this width would be like this. Now refresh it. If you see something like this over here, so red one is the actual container, right? And are you there? I'm not getting your voice clearly. Hello? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, just go here, and in the container I would like to have auto. Now can you see scroll bars have been added over here? Can you see that? So what I did, I just have added one property, overflow auto. Now if I remove this thing, content would be overflown. Can you see? Content will come out of this box. That's what a natural, that's what a natural cover thing is. See, some parts of the content might be cropped for this effect. Okay, so presently none we were talking about none. Now, yeah, so you have done now none effect. None means what? Here you can see the content is larger than the container, it might overflow. So whenever there is a possibility that your image is bigger than the container, it is always good to add. But see, you cannot see the image the way you were observing at the cover. See cover, I can add cover, and here you will find the scroll bars. Can you see that? Now make a none over here. I suppose you should get, yeah, still scroll bars are there, but image is stretched in the original size. Image is having its original size, remember that. But what do you mean by cover? When you say cover, some portion can be cropped. Cover, some parts of the content might be cropped with this effect. So the takeaway from this is that whenever you think that the Mario is bigger than the container, you should add overflow. Overflow means what? The scroll bars. Overflow means what? The scroll bars to the container. In any scenario, whenever the content is bigger than container, you can add this property to avail the scroll bars. Right? So one more, now I will comment this out, otherwise whatever things we are understanding, it will not work. And scale down, last property, scale down. Now just forget about this red container. The task of red container is done. I was about to show you about this scroll bars. Okay. So what do you mean by the scale down? What do you mean by scale down? The content is scaled. What do you mean by scale down? Content is scaled either to fit the container or its original size, depending upon which is smaller. Right? It is the combination of contain and none. It is the combination of contain and none. That is nothing but what the scale down is. So presently we are using this scale down. So you may go here and it will not take any impact. It is the combination of contain and null. Contain means what? When you say contain, no part is cropped. Aspect ratio is maintained. And some white spaces you might see around the image. And what do you mean by scale down? The content is scaled either to fit the container, that is the contain, or to the original size, that is the none. Content is scaled either to fit the container, that is the contain, or to the original size, that is none, depending upon whatever is smaller. Correct? So I'll push this much code, go through it, image properties, just go through it and come back with the questions. Done. Done. Any question? Where exactly? Look at the code and then tell me. CSS. Yeah. This one. Yeah, it's a good practice. Yesterday we have seen this thing. Explicitly specifying width and height, viewport width and height to the HTML tag and body tag is a good practice. Any other query? Okay. So here we have seen here we have seen few properties on the images. Okay. Just a minute. So we have talked about, you can say, width, height, max width, max height, right? Now, what I want you to do, so what I want you to do is try this thing. So once we conclude the today's session, you should try this thing. Okay. So how exactly these image properties are working and what things are happening inside this. Okay. So we have seen the image properties. I'm going to come back to the max width and max height again. Once we learn the responsiveness, you can see that thing again. Well, I can show you now also, but let's move ahead to the new thing, or we'll try to see something new. So when you talk about text properties, image properties, text properties, image properties, such, there are lot of properties available, absolutely, right? Lot of properties are available over there, but we are understanding few of them. Now whenever you talk about creating a best websites, there is something called as, we need to set background properties. background properties, which is nothing but background color, background image, background repeat, position, attachment, something like that. That I would like to cover little bit. Okay. So first, just a minute. So what we need to do, let's create new file, background .html, and new file, background.css. Not in the CSS, but here HTML5 and background properties. Background properties. Okay. Main div background.css, import the background.css, link css, background.css. Say we can say class box. Okay. Box and here we can say width, give the width to HTML, body width 100 VW, height 100 VH, 100 VW, 100 VH. To the box, we can give to the section, sorry, to the main width 100%, height 100%. Okay, width. So here to the box width we can say 200 pixels or 100%, and height 300 pixel. And now see background color, we have seen this thing, cadet blue. We have seen this thing, background color property you are knowing, you are aware of. Background.html, can you see this? Now there is a background image also. Background, there is one property, background image, and here we can say background image URL, and inside that Mario dot this thing. Can you see now? See here you are getting two Marios, right? Here you are getting two Marios. Now this also can be done. So this also can be changed, right? So what we need to do, background size, can you see contain? Just refresh it. Can you see contain? All the Marios would be contained like this. cover. All the Marios would be covered. One Mario would be covered throughout the section. And there is something called as auto. And there is something called as auto. Auto means what? 2. If you say contain, aspect ratio is maintained. Remember that. Whenever you say contain, aspect ratio is maintained. And things would be getting repeated like this. Things would be getting repeated like this. Now these two things or these things fall under the background related thing. Okay. Now what I want you to do, you should work with some background properties. This is a homework. This is a homework for you. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm preparing the homework list. Yeah. Well, I have thought about only this much content for today. Okay. So I want you to make some research. Please make some research on this topic. Well, I'm going to cover it. On the Monday, I would be covering this. So let's go to the homework. And this homework is for day 7. Today is the 8th day, right? Day 7 and 8 together. First, compare the contrast. See, compare the contrast for background size cover, background size contain properties. I have solved this problem for you. Now create the web page. Here you can say, create the web page with the background image that remains fixed as the user scroll. Use the background attachment fixed. Investigate the concept of the responsive images. If you do it, well and good. Otherwise, forget it. This is some advanced topic, but you should know. Research and explain. Research and explain the difference between the absolute and relative CSS dimension units, giving the example when to use each. Okay. Create the responsive layout using EM and the REM. Demonstrate how layout adapt changes the font size. We have seen this thing. Explore the VW and VH. Explore the VW and the VH units. Okay. Now, yeah, this is good. Analyze the performance benefit of using WebP images, image format, compared to the JPEG or the PNG. Include the example of the implementation and the browser support. Now here, build a gallery page featuring images with the different object fit values. Describe the visual difference between them. So these are the homework topics. Okay. Just try to do this thing. Just go through it, and if you get any question, please let me know. Any question? Okay.
I can try it.
Yeah, you can try, no problem. Yeah. Let's call it for a day. We'll meet on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm disconnecting.